Hey guys, we got to take a break on the Honda project because I got another one that I got to start. I'll explain why here in a little bit. Welcome back, guys. If you're a regular viewer, you will know that we just started a rebuild project on this Honda TRX four-wheeler. That's like 33 years old. I'm doing this for my grandson. Even though he's only one, I want to have it ready for his second birthday. If you want to see that video, I'll put a link up above. So as I was shopping for parts online, I started thinking, well, when he gets good on this and he starts riding around and he wants to go further than our little tiny quarter acre of land, so that prompted me to start looking online for maybe an on-off-road dirt bike for myself. Now, when I started out riding, I was 2 years old. I started out on a little Indian 50cc. So naturally, you know, for me, a motorcycle would be a natural progression. So I started looking on Facebook and on Craigslist, you know, for something, nothing fancy, just something I could bomb around town with, you know, and then occasionally hit the trails on the weekend with Colton. So while I was browsing online, I came across this ad that really piqued my curiosity. Now, keep in mind here that we're in the middle of winter here in Maine. I mean, it is, you know, negative temperatures, snow on the ground, so this really isn't the time as a seller to be selling a motorcycle. This would be equivalent to like trying to sell a snowmobile in August. Just not a good time if you're a seller, but a great time if you're a buyer. So the ad was for a 2003 Suzuki street bike with 11,000 miles on it. I started looking over the guy's Facebook page to see what I could figure out, and he had pictures dating back to about 10 years with this bike. So I kind of figured, you know, the guy's had the bike for a while. It probably hasn't been hot rodded. It probably took pretty good care of it. So we talk on the phone and text back and forth a couple times, and we arranged to meet up on the weekend. So I grab my father-in-law, we hook on to the pile trailer. If you haven't seen that build, I'll put a link up above. And we head to this guy's house, which is about an hour away. Now, meanwhile, it's a freaking blizzard when we're doing this. The snow is coming down in buckets. It's snowing to beat the band. Who buys a motorcycle in the middle of a snowstorm? So my father-in-law and I, we pull in the driveway, and the guy's got the garage door up to his garage, and the bike's already running. And from a distance, the thing looks awesome. So we get out, I go look at it. It sounds good. It's got a pipe on it, and the closer I get, I start seeing problems. It's obviously been dropped. The tank's got a problem with it. The paint's all stripped. It looked like somebody dumped gas and it peeled the paint off it. I can see on one side of it that somebody tried to fix it and it looked like they did a real shoddy job. It was a mess. And the registration tag showed that it hadn't been registered in 4 years. So not only did it look a little rough, it also has been sitting for a while. And we're talking with a guy, apparently he had a lot of people that were lowballing him and they wanted to trade stuff for him. Like I said, winter is not the time to be selling your summer equipment. You know, it's a buyer's market, not a seller's market. So I looked it over a little bit. I mean, what are you going to do? You're not going to take it for a ride. It's in the middle of a snowstorm. So I sit on the bike, shut it off, start it back up. It starts. Put it in first gear, let the clutch out. The clutch didn't engage all the way out, and there was plenty of travel left in the adjustment. And I shut it off and looked it over, told the guy I got some concerns because it needs some work. And I made him a deal. Made him an offer, and he said, no, I can't, there's no way I can do that. I said, okay, well, my father-in-law and I turned around, we started walking off, and he's like, yep, whatever, let's do it. And we signed the deal. It's going to need plastic repair, it's going to need paint, it's going to need general maintenance, it needs a new tire, the fork's got to be rebuilt, the carburetor's probably got to be cleaned from sitting for 4 years. God only knows what else it might need. But summer is coming, and I want to get this thing done. So the first thing we're going to do is we got to take off all the plastics and fix all that broken stuff. So the video will start on the day I pick up this motorcycle. Hope you enjoy this series. And then we'll get back to the four-wheeler build. So we get this thing home and it is covered with ice. I back it in my garage and leave it there for a couple days. And now we've got some more decent weather. It's warmed up just a little bit. I push it outside, and this is kind of the first time I've seen it. Hey guys, so here you can see the paint. Needs some work. Got a lot of damage on it. It's got some scratches here. It's got some scratches on the front. You can see how it's got like prismatic paint, which I don't really like the paint, so we're gonna paint everything. But you can see, I don't know if you can see it, the prismatic paint here to here doesn't match. Busted right here, so I gotta fix that. Got another scratch here. The tank looks bad, but yeah, I mean, all in all, I guess it's not my thing. I'm just not liking the prismatic paint. I mean, some might, but to me it just kind of looks I don't know. I don't want to insult anyone that has it, but to me it just kind of looks circusy. But so I think what we're going to do is just a basic black metallic finish. So that means I got to take off all these plastics on this.
Now, as I said earlier, I really wasn't looking for a street bike. I was really kind of just browsing and looking for a on-off-road dirt bike. But then this good deal came along, so I'm like, well, hey, I'll pull the trigger on it. I won't lose money on it because I picked it up for cheap enough. I'll drive it probably all summer, work out any bugs that it has, and then the beginning of spring next year, I'll try to trade it for a on-off-road.
There, got it all stripped down now. Tank's off. Everything's all labeled in little Ziploc baggies. That way I don't forget what's what and where everything went. So, yeah, when it gets better weather, I'll power wash this all down, make this look a lot better. And in the meanwhile, maybe we'll work on getting the fairings painted. I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably just black. Alright guys, so this is what's going on. I'm going to be getting all the body work done to the point where it can be primed, and then I'm going to drop it off to somebody who's going to do all the primer, finish some of the body work that I don't do, and then they're going to squirt it out. And so here's a rear tail section, obviously the gas tank. I got another box of parts here which we'll talk about in detail when we get to them. And I've got some side fairings. Now you can see that, you know, it's got some damage here and there. It's got something going on here, I don't quite know what, but it's broken here. So I think somebody might have tipped over with it or something, I don't know. But they used what appears to me to be Bondo on the inside, and that's not the proper fix. And they were hoping that the Bondo would somehow make it solid again, but that's not how you fix it. So what we're going to do is we're going to grind this out, get rid of it. Once we do that, then we can start sanding down on the outside and start doing the body work.
So what I'm doing here is I'm just using an angle grinder, and I've got a flap wheel on it. Now the goal that I'm trying to go for is I'm trying to get all the material from the ABS plastic back down to virgin plastic, so that our next process will stick to it, because it's got to be, you know, clean, sanded down all the way to bare material. Now here you can see somebody's actually repaired this on the outside, and they've used, it looks like, to me, it looks like body filler or Bondo. And from what I understand, I don't think Bondo really is intended to be put on plastic just because it's not pliable enough. So I did a bunch of research, and I kind of experimented with this next process that you're going to see. And so far, I believe that it probably was the best bet and that it's working pretty well. Now here what I'm doing is, you can see all these little cracks. These are all the broken pieces that were underneath all that putty. And what I'm doing here is I just have a little, it's like a rasp, and it's in the end of my drill. And I'm just going around and V'ing out those areas. Kind of like you do if you were welding metal.
Alright, so I want to show you something, guys. And it's going to be hard to see, but I'm going to do my best. Inside here, you might have to take my word for it, it says ABS. Okay, that's what this is made out of. ABS, then it has another letter beside it, ABS. So that means that this is made out of ABS plastic. Now I have another piece that says ABS PBT. So it's a combination of ABS and a PBT plastic. Well, I'm going to try to fix this with pipe cement. Now here what I have is just some Odie medium black ABS cement. And I looked up the chemical composition of this cement, and what this consists of is MEK, or methyl ethyl ketone or something like that. Super bad stuff. MEK you'll see a lot on industrial jobs as thinners. I know a guy who is actually working with MEK. had it on his bare hands for a little while, actually ended up poisoning himself. He's okay, but MEK is bad. I digress. The components in this stuff are ABS plastic, MEK or methyl ethyl ketone, and acetone. So those are both thinners and reducers, and they acetone and MEK evaporate fairly quick. So in other words, if you dump this out, and once the solvents evaporate, it just leaves behind ABS. So that's what we are going to do here. I'm going to try to put a thin layer on our patch. You can see I've grooved it all out, tried to get the pieces back together. Here, I might just try to put a backer in there of tape on the back side. I don't know how that's going to work. If I had, I wish I had a piece of ABS plastic, because I'd actually cut out a piece and put it in there, but I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, so I'm just going to brush it on. It's going to probably take 24 hours for this to cure, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I got nothing to lose, right? Worst case scenario is it doesn't work, but I think it will. We don't want that leaking out the front if we can help it. And the added bonus to this, if it works the way I hope and expect it will, is that there'll be no body fillers left behind. This will just be plastic on top of plastic, because these the solvents obviously degrade or break down the ABS, which is how it's liquid ABS, and those will actually, you know, that's how that works when you join two pieces of ABS pipe together, or any piece of pipe with solvent. The solvent in the ABS cement softens the pipe, and it actually bonds the two pieces of pipe together. So yeah, that MEK is some nasty stuff. Not good. Little dab will do ya. Dab it on.
I couldn't find this ABS cement locally. I had to order it online.
You know, and I'm kind of working around a little bit, because I want to try to like agitate it into that joint to help soften up that original ABS plastic that's there. You know, that's my hopes, is that this will all fuse together. May have to do this in, you know, I might have to do this in a couple layers, but we'll do the inside at one point, and then we'll do the outside after. Not sure how this is going to react with the adhesive and the glue, but maybe we'll have a huge mess on the back side. I don't know. Alright, so we got one full layer on everywhere, and what we'll do is I'll wait 24 hours, and then we'll come back. We'll put another layer over this, because it's going to settle out. I don't want to put it on thick. I want it to go on kind of thin. And so we'll put a second coat on after 24 hours, then we'll flip it over and do the same exact thing to the front. So it's had time to get 2 coats on it now, and it feels super strong. It's like, it just feels hard. It feels like the material that's on it. Yeah, it's like, just feels super strong. Let's flip it over. Start working on the other side.
So this whole motorcycle purchase was pretty much unlike me. I don't normally make split decisions like this real quick without giving it a lot of thought. I mean, as I told you in the beginning, the four-wheeler build, he's not going to be able to ride it until he's 2 years old. He just turned 1. So, I mean, I really don't need a motorcycle right now. I was just kind of looking, just try to, you know, so I can plan out things and, you know, financially plan of how I want to do it or what I may want to get or whatnot, you know, kind of window shopping. But then this deal came along and I saw it online and I'm like, you know, it's kind of one of those things. Sometimes you have to act now, and if you see a good deal, sometimes deals can maybe be too good to be true. Hopefully this isn't one of those, because like I said, it was pretty risky me buying this. I mean, it's the middle of winter here in Maine, and I bought it during the middle of a snowstorm. I mean, for all I know, you know, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth gears blown out of it. All it's got's first. I mean, I really don't know. I didn't really look at it. His garage was, you know, probably 2 degrees inside, so it wasn't a heated garage. You know, I pretty much looked at it and made the guy an offer, and he took it. But once I got it back to my place, then I saw that it's going to need a front tire. One of the fork seals is leaking. And then I kind of saw the extent of, just overall, it just kind of looks neglected. I mean, it's been sitting for 4 years, so, you know, it needs a little bit of TLC and some love, and hopefully that's what we can do for this.
Alright, so here's the finished repair. It's not 100% perfect. It's got a little bit of a low spot here, and I can feel a little bit of a hump right here. But all in all, it's pretty good. But I am done fussing with it. It's good and solid. I'm going to let the bodywork guy just do whatever he's got to do. A little bit of skim coat. He said just get it sanded, and he would take care of the rest. But I really wanted to get this as close as you can see right there, a little shiny spot. It's a little low right there. But he said, you know, get as close as you can get it, and he'll take care of the rest. So this ABS plastic repair thing, it works awesome. Now let me show you what I did on the back side. So I put the ABS plastic all around. You didn't see me do the next step, but I put 2 coats on the back, and then I put some fiberglass mat on top of it. And you can just see kind of like all the way around the outline, and that's all one piece. It goes up, and it goes around this little clip, and then it continues over here and goes back down. So all that's doing is that's just reinforcing that back so that none of this re-cracks again, just to help tie it all together. Now when I put the ABS on the back side of this, the cement, before putting on the this fiberglass mesh, as it was curing, the plastic was all like pliable. It was all mushy. So it was definitely the ABS, the solvents were definitely melting the existing plastic that was there and fusing the two together. So yeah, I don't have any concerns about this not holding. Yeah, worked really good. I think for here, having the same material, you know, ABS and the ABS cement, having the same material is just going to make for a better repair. And that's all there is to it. Now all I got to do is get these plastics off to the bodywork guy so he can squirt them out with paint. And while that's happening, next week we're going to be putting on a new tire, rebuilding the forks, and God only knows what else. So tune in next week. This build will probably be a 3-part series if you're interested. Go ahead and follow it. Then after that, we'll get back onto this TRX 4-wheeler build, and then maybe then we'll get back to some welding videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day. Stay safe. I'll see you guys next week.